Hi Gemini, welcome to your unexpected reading for from now until about February 10th. Yeah, February 10th. Everything you need to know about this reading is in the description box below, and just so you know, you might hear my cat starting to do her thing. She's old and she either gets lost or she gets demanding, one of the two, so if you hear some weird sounds in the background, that's me trying to pet her, calm her down, or her doing the meow thing that she does. Okay. Apparently not. I was going to make a fool out of me. Right. Knight of Cups. Okay. So we've got an offer. Maybe somebody's thinking about making an offer. Maybe somebody's wanting to take it to the next level because they recognize how they feel. All right. Okay, so we've got Four of Swords and the Hanged Man. Oh, goodness gracious. We've seen this before. All right, Gemini. Okay. You know what? God bless America. I was just going to say Pisces. Because Pisces, and we got Pisces, but I think this was in Pisces reading, or Virgos. It was in Pisces or Virgos, this similarity here. And so we got Hangman, Moon, Four of Swords, Knight of Cups. This could be Pisces, this could be Pisces or Cancer. Death, Scorpio. Page of Wands, it doesn't have to be Scorpio, it could be Scorpio. Seven of Wands and Three of Wands. Okay, so we're basically back to square one. Right, hold on here. I'm having one of those weird synchronous time periods where right before somebody says something, I know what they're going to say. You know, it's just one of those flukes or whatever. Like you have this, not prescience, you just feel like you know what someone's going to say or do, and then but you don't say anything because you don't want to sound like a freak. And then, I swear it's going to be, just say it and go for it, but then waste time explaining yourself, much like I'm doing right now. All right. These are only court cards. I'm just pulling it for right here. Page of Cups. So it could be kids involved. This could be starting to talk to somebody, a new beginning. This is you're probably ending a relationship with somebody, a water sign, or this could be you've ended a relationship and now a new beginning is starting with somebody that is of the water sign persuasion. We shall see. Okay, let's get into it. This will make more sense when I'm starting to read. Okay, so both of these cards speak of letting go and letting how things are stand. This is basically maybe you want to do something, but maybe there wants to be an offer to be made. But there cannot be one right now. This is restrictive. It's also letting go and making the sacrifice or surrendering to how things are and just acceptance, working on acceptance. But this is also wanting something and not being able to do it. And if you want to do it, you have to change your thinking. So this is a period of thinking, of accepting things the way they are, but also not quite letting go in the sense that you wish they could be different. And sometimes there's that. That's almost like that's the crossroad, because sometimes it's about, okay, do I accept the way things are, or do I use this time period of restriction and surrender and sacrifice and pulling away and letting go to come back around again and make it better, or do I just accept it and then take a different path because of that? Sometimes that can lead to self-destructive behaviors or self-destructive thinking, things like that. So right now it looks like it's just in the resting recuperation period. It hasn't gone, like it's not decided which way this will go. If someone's just going to accept it and then, have a 2-year bender, or if they're going to accept it as is now and then decide to come around again. This would suggest coming around again. This would suggest letting things stand as of now. There's that duality, Gemini. Okay, all right. Could be you're thinking about a Pisces here, and these two just flipped. So, well, these three just flipped, actually. These here. This is a longevity and stability of a relationship, a new beginning, a new passionate pursuit perhaps, and work involved, achievement, stress, accomplishment, that sort of thing. All right, so back to over here. Confusion, the need for clarity. That's kind of going to be for the next couple of weeks ahead. Things are going to be murky. There's going to be confusion, not knowing what to do, where to go, or how to make sense of something. Basically, it's like an extension of this. You're going to kind of be left in the dark, and things need to be sorted out and illuminated. And the hunch is that it's going to take the other person, that this is kind of a holding pattern. So either the other person feels like they're in a holding pattern with you, or you feel like things are in a holding pattern. It is going to take the other person, but something tells me you're okay with that. Like you don't mind that because you're either optimistic or I don't know, you're just okay with it being in a holding pattern. Well, okay, duh. I guess it's this, huh? And of course, who wouldn't want to retreat, right? It looks like it could be a Scorpio involved. It could be there's been an ending though, nonetheless, with maybe a relationship that just wasn't meant to be or just wasn't what you needed it to be. This maybe have been all that it was for the time being. Just kind of, it never got past the flirting stage or the talking about it stage or the words of love. There needed to be action put behind it. It could have been that there's been an ending to that relationship, but then you're talking with this person again. You're starting up that conversation about the relationship again. So, all right. The unexpected element. Here's where it gets twisty. Is there is a new interest? Could be fighting, waiting. It looks like there's a new interest, and you're willing to fight for it. Let me see what 2 pages are. Probably news, right? Pages. Disquiet. All right, so we've got disquiet here. Things are not at rest. So if somebody is still conflicted, this could also be inner conflict. Somebody is actually still conflicted about this ending or this separation period. And maybe this is them wanting to make an offer, that person. What's this Page of Wands about, please? Page of Wands. It could be Sagittarius. Ooh, okay. So we go from this... Let's say, where's that Page of Wands? Okay, we go from Page of Cups. There it is. This resting, holding period. There's been a definite ending, but somebody has not been able to let it stand, or they'll allow for the time, but they've got an agenda, so to speak. They will allow for this, but they do have intentions of returning. So even though you're in this holding period, they want to talk with you about a new beginning, bringing balance, restoring balance, healing, whatever it's going to take, because they have had an epiphany. They realize that, well, basically you're worth fighting for. So this could be the conflict between you two, but there is definite renewed interest, if not interest that never went away, and they want to fight for it. Let's see what the 7 of Wands is about. It could be that, this brings about those conversations that needed to have been had before the breakup, but I don't think anybody's ever quite let go here. Oh, we got 2 10s. Look at that. How'd I miss that? So the 2 10s are also, is that? Yeah, so we got 2 3s. This is a 3. This is a 3. 3, 4. Hold on a minute. 18, 9. Okay, so okay. So 2 10s. Let me look at 2 10s here. Change. So disquiet and change. So this disquiet could be somebody never being fully okay with the time apart, just biding their time, waiting to come back. And then here's where the disquiet really shows, is there's that, disagreement and fighting. And what was it? Change? Did I just say change? Because of the change, somebody doesn't like the change. Somebody wants to renegotiate. This could be renegotiation. And after a period of healing, I get though that the person really, they want to take this and they want this. So it could be that what you two are talking about, having passionate conversation about, or just passion, is an offer of movement, taking the relationship to the next level. There's been this sort of separation or this break, everybody to their own corners. Let's just have a break here so we can think about things. And then someone is wanting to come back in to renegotiate. They've had an epiphany. They understand now. They have had, all of this has been brought to light, whatever the issues were, but they don't like either what they realized or they don't like the outcome. They're not satisfied with the outcome. It's just going to lead to more unhappiness for them. So this is being confused without any clarity. Well, obviously, and not even an outcome, just being generally confused. This is having an understanding, and then it just brings on more confusion, which after this period of healing, it's almost like they have more questions, or they've realized now and they're like, I want to talk more. Okay, so what's this 7 of Wands about? Maybe you were hoping for that. Maybe that's what you were hoping for with this person. Well, if you did, they got it. They have an awareness now. 7 of Wands. They're going to... Okay, so this could be that they want to fight for their position on getting married or progressing towards a more committed, stable, conventional relationship, right? Going from Page of Cups to this Knight of Cups for the overall energy and offer being on the table to actually, hi, let's really commit here and have a new beginning together. Okay. This is also fighting about a marriage offer that you might think is risky. Okay. That you might think is literally a leap of faith. Both of these speak to faith. This is abandoning everything and just having a completely clean slate, new beginning. So it could be like, let's just, leave the past in the past and start new. Could be that with definitely a committed relationship. This could also be that you're fighting over the stability of the offer in the sense that you think it's really risky. Having this relationship is actually, or getting married is actually the wrong move here. Let's just spend more time with this, getting to know each other in movement rather than locking things down. Both of these cards are restrictive. So just be aware, because we've got the Hierophant here, which is all about the way things have always been done, customs, traditions, sort of that immovable structure of thinking, society, everything. It's very solid, very secure, very done this way all the time. This is about also wanting to earn, but you can't. Some change needs to happen before you can move forward. So just keep in mind that we got a couple of restrictive cards showing up. And then we got this one's like, freedom and running off the cliff. So a couple of things here. It could be, a couple of scenarios here. This is general. Okay, so 3 of Wands. Again, with the waiting. This isn't so much waiting as somebody taking some time out to think things through, to get a mental rest from a situation. And then over here we have waiting and an offer having been put out there. And now what? Well, we're going to wait. All right, so let's see what you're waiting about. Keep in mind we have the stability and longevity of a relationship here, a new beginning and a lot of work, but still the achievement side of it also. So this relationship might take a lot of work, hence the need for separation, going to our separate corners, and then getting back together and still fighting. Because you probably have two very, very strong personalities that are wanting different versions of the same thing. Like, I want a commitment with you, or I'll consider one, but these are my needs. And this one's like, well, yeah, but can we just have the commitment and then we'll sort that out? Or, you know what I mean? It's just, you kind of both want the same thing because there's a love there, but there is conflicting views of how to achieve that same thing. All right, what's this 3 of Wands about? Happily ever, well, not happily ever, getting your wish. Someone wanting what they want. That's what this, okay, I put it out there. I'm gonna wait and see. It's gonna make me happy. Okay. So this 3 of Wands is basically, you put your offer out there. Someone has put their offer out there and they're waiting to see if it's going to lead to an ending or a new beginning. And that's, honestly, this is the 2-week period for you, Gemini. Obviously, this could be for much longer, but this is the main crux of it for the next 2 weeks. This could not resolve for months. But for the Geminis that I'm reading for, this is where you are at. If things are literally up in the air, and it's almost like a battle of wills, because this is someone not being able to move forward until they figure out how, or they change their thinking. And they're not going to have any progress. They're not going to get what they want until there's been a reconciliation, either with pride, the way they're thinking, someone's point of view, reconciling past issues. I mean, it could run the gamut. So this is 2 very strong personalities having conversations back and forth about what they want for their future with each other. And whether it leads to an ending or a beginning is going to depend on your personal situation. Isn't that great? We start with, restriction or letting things stand as they are, and we end with putting an offer out there and wondering. Okay, or Gemini. What does Gemini need to know? There is a love there, though. There is a desire for that connected, committed relationship, and there is a love there. But there's a disconnect. I think it's just 2 very strong personalities, because we've got opposites here. We got this stable, solid, connected, conformed, all connection, commitment, and then we've got this new beginning, a risky new beginning, perhaps. So maybe this is taking a leap of faith, but there's arguments. There's somebody that feels very strongly, or both of you feel very strongly, and there's those passionate conversations, that arguing, bickering, trying to sort it out, and it still ends at kind of a stalemate. Wanting to plan for this future, to be happy. Maybe this is planning for the future. Sorry, I'll get to these in a minute. This is planning for the future because this has been laid to rest. This argument has been laid to rest. We've decided on A new beginning, it might take a lot of work, but there's longevity here, there's a love here. So now we're going to put it out there and see what we want. It's going to make us happy, and we're going to leave the past behind, and we've got what we wanted. Maybe this is you getting your wish for them putting the past behind them and a new beginning, or things ending entirely. Okay. All right. Again, general. So these scenarios are but along under the same umbrella could apply here. Grass is greener, or is it? This is about finding out what's going on the other side, taking that break, which is what we see here, and maybe liking what you see and wanting to just stay there, or liking what you see but wanting to go back and incorporate what you've seen into your present situation and make it work. So again, with the crossroads, again, with taking time out to be discerning, to think things through. Gemini, what does Gemini need to know? Blossoming. This has been coming up a lot. You're just getting started. So have patience with yourself and the process, and do not give up. So this is, just getting started right here. But this is also waiting for, it's like you've come full circle. There's not any confusion anymore because we end up over here. We have those clarifying conversations, so to speak. And then we end up here like, all right, this is what I feel strongly about. I'm putting it out there. Now what? So this would say that whatever your position is, either you're the one wanting, you're the one that has put it out there and you're waiting, or if you're the one that is still thinking about things after an offer has been made, either way, this is saying that doubling down on do what's right for you and give more time needed until you feel certain about your position, because don't back down from how you feel. Also, as far as do not give up, if you already have started this process with the person, like all right, we've decided we're going this way. We put it out there. We're moving towards our goals. So far, so good. We've left the past behind. It's a lot of work, but we feel solid about it because there is a love there. Don't give up. There is going to be a lot of work involved. It's going to be a very dynamic relationship should you continue, but you just started this new process. There's been an ending. Now there's a new beginning, probably with the same person, because a lot has come to light and been resolved, and you've had those conversations. So if you've already cleared it out and you are starting, don't give up. It might be a tough road to walk, but there is a love there, and there is a stable, solid, secure, it is solid. So if that's the case, then don't give up. That's what this is saying. Either way, maintain your position, point being. Yay, rising above, clarity, freedom, and solution. Exactly what I was talking about. Maintain your position. This is about everything getting resolved, and either way, a decision will be made. Somebody or you are both waiting to see. Okay, this also could be, like I said, the solution having come, and now it's a period of, all right, let's wait and see what happens. We're both happy because there's been an ending to the past drama. We're moving forward. We've risen above. We're clear about our issues now. We went from being here to here, having those conversations, getting it all out in the open, what we both want. We came up with a solution, moving forward. If you haven't gotten to that point, it's coming. If you're still in that waiting period, the solution, or perhaps more clarifying conversations, but either way, it's coming. You'll know it when you feel it. You'll feel right about it, and then you'll be firmly standing for what you want. Okay. All right, Gemini, that is what I have for you, all minutes of it. I hope this was helpful. It's almost like, on the one hand, it could be that you're still thinking about things after an offer's been made and you've been going back and forth, and you're like, okay, well, this is what I want, and this is my position, and this is where I'm staying. I hope that we can reach an agreement. Or it's that you've already decided to move forward and you're in the beginning stages of this new relationship with the same person. And right now you're happy because things have been laid to rest. The past drama is gone. This would suggest that all of this is about incorporating or finding that solution and moving forward with it. Okay. Thank you for stopping by. I hope this was helpful. I don't know where the time went. I thought this would be a 12-minute-er, but there you go. Again, thank you for stopping by, especially if you stayed this long. I hope to see you in the next reading. Take care.